And Ivan Bates is joining us now. Good to see you, sir.
Hey, glad to be here.
We want to talk a little bit. We spoke to the mayor and want to talk to you a bit about the Billingsley case. And I think one of the things that stands out to people are good time credits. And you always hear about that, like on a TV drama, you get time credit for good time behind bars. But it doesn't work for some crimes, I feel like.
Well, you know, what you're talking about are called diminution credits, or DIMs. And basically, when an individual is incarcerated, they have the opportunity to receive good credit if they take classes, if they're doing programs while inside the institution. Almost every single crime that one does, or every time they're incarcerated, they can receive those credits, except if you're convicted of first-degree rape or first-degree sex offense on an individual 16 years or younger. So that is the change. In 2016, the legislature made that the law. So now you understand why Mr. Billingsley, even though he was convicted of rape in the first degree, how he was allowed to earn diminution credits. They usually get about, maybe for every month of time you're in, good time, you almost get an entire month off your sentence. That's why you see individuals doing about half of their sentence, or here you had an individual doing less than 2/3 of their sentence.
And I'm sure you get what, when you hear from people out in the public, it leaves them scratching their head. I think that they think if it's petty theft, or if it's something that, you know, is a crime that ends up being a misdemeanor, it seems as though it's easy for them to accept that. Yeah. But for murder or for rape, it just seems like they don't want to even hear about that being a possibility for them.
Well, I agree, and that's why I think the legislature may need to want to look at that issue again. Sure. For instance, looking at diminution credits for individuals convicted of first-degree rape or first-degree sex offense. Maybe the judge is the one, based on, after hearing the facts, to decide whether or not that individual would be eligible for diminution credits. So there are a number of things I think the legislature could look at in terms of this. This case clearly was able to highlight some of the concerns that citizens have with the criminal justice system. You know, for misdemeanor, you're only really doing now 1/3 of your time for a misdemeanor. Wow. That's why I remember I went to Annapolis on the handgun bill to say, hey, right now, if you have a legal handgun, under the old law was 3 years. 3 years equated to 8 months incarceration if you're given 3 years. Man. Now it's 5 years, so now that equates to 15 months incarceration. Okay. So looking at what's going on, I was a defense attorney for 20 years and a prosecutor for 6. I was confused myself a lot of times. You have to really understand what's going on. The legislature hopefully can fix some of the confusion.
I'm glad you mentioned you have worked on both sides. Talk to me about plea deals, and tell me how it's beneficial for both sides, and why it's a tough thing, because I think some people, if you're on the side that you're hoping this person is behind bars for whatever they've committed, and they see a plea deal, it can be disappointing to them.
Well, plea deals are a necessary part of the criminal justice system. For instance, let's look at the sex offense in reference to Mr. Billingsley case. You know, just because an individual is now charged with a crime, now the state, my office, we must prove that case beyond a reasonable doubt. Sure. Sometimes you have reluctant victims. Sometimes you have reluctant witnesses you cannot find. Sometimes, you know, the threat of going to jail for a life sentence or 50 or 20-year sentence may have an individual say, you know what, I don't want to go to jail for 15, 20 years of risk, but I would go to jail 5, 10 years. So you have to kind of weigh everything. Sure. The defense is looking at it to say, okay, is my client, if we lose, prepared to do, say, a murder, a life sentence? And what is the evidence against my client? You're rolling the dice. The state has to also say, I need to make sure we hold this individual accountable. Is this the type of case? What is a sentence that the victim or the victim's family can live with? And I can also protect the community. There's no exact science. That's why you need to have as much experience as possible to try to have an understanding of the value of your case, the evidence in your case, and the strength of your case. Once you understand that from a prosecutor standpoint, you would make an offer, then the defense would make a decision. Usually they're going to counter. Sure. And somewhere along the line, the judge may decide to undercut that offer one way or another to get the plea bargain done. You have so many cases in the system. If everybody went to trial, the system would shut down. Okay. And that's part of the reason you also have the plea bargains, because you have so many cases, but you, as a state, you want to make sure you get a conviction. You're not having all these appeals, but you get the conviction. You know you're holding that individual accountable. It may not be what you wanted, but it's something that the victim and the victim's family could live with.
While we have you, just talk Morgan a little bit, and just violent and gun crime in general. The mayor's talking about a proliferation of guns on the street. What can we do, do you think, in Baltimore to get tough with folks who have guns in their pockets, because it seems like too many of them do?
Well, exactly. Look, one of the things I was talking about this when I ran, over a year ago.
remember.
Illegal handguns, illegal handguns, illegal handguns. The problem are illegal handguns. It's simple. But the bigger problem is young people, juveniles with illegal handguns. We really have to do something with the juvenile law and go down to Annapolis and really do something with juveniles, especially with handguns. We have to be able to hold young people accountable with the illegal handguns. Unfortunately, young people aren't really valuing their life enough, and that is very concerning. We must, unfortunately, tighten up the laws, strengthen the laws, and say, look, if you're going to have an illegal handgun, there's a high probability and possibility you will go to jail as an adult, and as a juvenile, it's a high probability and possibility that you can be detained. We can try to give all the young people the wraparound service, and hopefully that will change.
Right.
But if you, as a juvenile, commit a violent crime with a handgun, unfortunately, in the adult system, we are asking for jail and prison time.
Consequences.
There are consequences for those actions.
Ivan Bates, good to see you, man.
Likewise.
Appreciate it.
Likewise.